right, well, thank you everyone for joining tonight. My name is Abby Joyce, and I'm the Associate Director of, I'll go ahead and share my screen again, I apologize.
No, that's okay. I have a few things to start them off.
That's of course.
Then we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
So want to welcome all the participants who want to learn about John Carroll University. And this is a series, StriveScan and IACAC have been presenting this series of different, panelists and presentations on college topics and colleges. And they started in the middle of September. They will go through October 22nd. So there's lots of sessions you can look for, and you can find those if you're looking to see what else is available at the IACAC website. That's iacac.org. This session, as well as all of the sessions, are being recorded, so you can also find all the session recordings and view them, when it's convenient for you. You are muted and your video is off, so the panelists can't see or hear you, but we do want your questions. So how do you ask questions? You're going to use the Q&A button and type your questions in. The presenters will answer them. And please do ask questions. It's the best way to get the information you need. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our panelists and enjoy your presentation.
Awesome, thank you so much. My name is Abby Joyce, and I'm the Associate Director of Enrollment at John Carroll University. And I have here with me a current student, Mary Kate Barron. I'll let Mary Kate go ahead and introduce herself.
Thanks, Abby. Hi, I'm Mary Kate Barron. I'm a current senior at John Carroll University, and I also come from Chicago.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm excited to be here today to tell you a little bit more about John Carroll University. As you may or may not know, JCU is a Jesuit liberal arts college located in a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio, in University Heights, which is just 20 minutes from downtown Cleveland. JCU is a mid-sized institution with approximately 3,000 undergraduate students. Every university will tell you that they want to know more than just your name, and we really hope to do that through your admission process, but also once you've enrolled at JCU as well. We want to know what you're passionate about, what your interests are, and what makes you, you. At JCU, we have a unique approach to the enrollment process. Your EM acts as your main point of contact from application to admission. EM, as you might know, stands for Enrollment Manager. They will be the person who will work with you from scholarships to financial aid. EMs are cross-trained to assist through every step of your journey. You may know who to call if you have any questions, so you don't feel as though you need to be shuffled around from office to office. Your EM will likely be the one who is connecting with you within your area specifically. So I work with all our students coming from the state of Illinois. I will be the first to review your application. So I really hope that you can reach out to me at some point, because it really helps make that connection personal before we review your application. Our job isn't to sell you on JCU, it's to help you figure out if JCU is the best fit for you, and we're here to help. The personal approach doesn't end once you've enrolled. It's the foundation of a John Carroll education, which is built on Jesuit principles. If you're not familiar with the Jesuits, they are an order of Catholic priests who focus on academic excellence and a commitment to service and social justice. JCU is one of 27 Jesuit universities in the United States, all of which have amazing reputations. We are proud to be part of such a distinguished network of institutions like Marquette, Xavier, Fordham, Georgetown, and the four Loyolas, just to name a few. At JCU, we focus on cura personalis, developing the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. This is reflected in our vision, which focuses on graduating individuals of intellect and character who lead and serve in the world around us and around the globe. This statement reiterates from our 4 university learning goals of intellect, character, leadership, and service. These 4 goals inform and inspire everything we do in and out of the classroom. Our hope with this approach to education is to help you develop the skills and knowledge to be successful, not for your first job, but for your lifelong career. We do want to teach you what a handshake means, which this picture we think represents it very cool. which shares a recent graduate and his opportunities working directly in the NFL. So that handshake means a lot. It means relationships, progress, a beginning, and outcome. This statement is related to your connections with faculty, JCU alumni, and all opportunities outside the classroom as well. Inside the classroom, John Carroll has 3,000 undergraduate students, which presents quite a few advantages from day one. We're focused on undergraduate education. So while our faculty do amazing research, they choose JCU because teaching is their top priority. With a 14:1 student to faculty ratio, our faculty pay attention to our students. They get to know the real you, and how does the strengths translate into the right major and the right courses. They are able to support you in and out of the classroom to help you reach your potential and meet your goals. At JCU, we understand that one size fits all doesn't always work, especially when it comes to academics. This way of thinking informed the development of our core curriculum, which allows you to explore a variety of disciplines and subjects, all while confirming your passions and confirming your major. This approach to education will help you develop analytical skills and the ability to ask deeper level questions. It offers you the opportunity to explore or study something that you might be surprised or interested in, all while still graduating on time, which we are very proud of. We have a very strong four-year graduation rate, and we do believe that this integrated core does help and lead to that. Unsure what to major in? At JCU, we have a host of options to make this path your own. It all starts with over 70 academic programs to choose from. Between our two colleges, our Bowler College of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences. Within the Bowler College, you'll find accountancy, which is one of our most nationally ranked programs, with the opportunity to have a very successful academic program, meaning that you're able to the importance of passing the CPA passage rate, which is very high for John Carroll. It's typically #1 in the state of Ohio and somewhere in the top 20 nationally. In addition to opportunities in finance, economics, supply chain management. And then over in the College of Arts and Sciences, you'll find opportunities within pre-health professions from biology to chemistry, exercise science and sports studies, communications, political science, and history. So those are just a few opportunities, and know that there'll be plenty of opportunity for you to really explore all different programs. Really cool component of our student academic experience is the opportunity to graduate with more than one major. 2 years ago, our graduating cohort graduated, about 46% of them graduated with more than one major. So double major or a major and a minor. So there is definitely opportunity for you to explore all of your pathways. At this time, I'll now invite Mary Kate to join and share a little bit more about her experience in the classroom.
Thanks, Abby. So for me, I came into the college process knowing I wanted to study French. It's always just been a passion. I love the language and culture. And then I was kind of undecided within business. So I came into John Carroll. I applied directly to the Bowler College of Business. And then from there, I was able to take a wide variety of like intro classes, whether it's like intro to accounting, finance, economics, marketing, management, supply chain, a really big wide range to kind of determine what would be a good fit for me. I was also able to use the resources of the Career Center and took like a major compatibility test to find out that accounting or finance would probably be a better fit than the other majors for me. I really like John Carroll because it has pretty much seamlessly allowed me to double major in different academic disciplines. So instead of pursuing maybe a double major in accounting and economics, I'm able to do accounting and French. So doing arts and sciences as well as in the Bowler College of Business is really attainable. And that was kind of definitely a real highlight that stuck out for me for John Carroll.
Great. Mary Kate, are you able to share a little bit more about where you're going to end up after graduation?
Yes. So pursuing accounting, I actually interned this past summer with one of the accounting firms, Deloitte, in Chicago. So even though I go to school in Cleveland, I was able to reach out to the recruiters in Chicago and say, hello, like my name is Mary Kate. I'm very interested in your firm and love with interning and kind of connecting with other people who are working there. Coincidentally, met a lot of JCU alums there, which is always really nice. You know John Carroll and know Cleveland. And then when I finished my internship, they actually offered me a job to start once I graduate back in Chicago. So it's really nice going into senior year, already having a job and not having to worry or stress about extra interviews.
Great, thank you. Always feel free to brag. The integrative learning experience, however, does not end in the classroom. At JC, we place a focus on an impactful experiences that await you in a broad range of extracurricular opportunities as well. Our smaller, more intimate size will allow you to get involved from your first week on campus. You'll have the opportunity to right away to take on a visible and impactful role in various clubs and organizations. To make things easy, we host a student involvement fair at the start of the school year that gives you a chance to become more familiar with what's available to you in a much more comfortable setting to introduce yourself to these various different organizations and feel connected right away. The great thing about being a smaller university, our students are able to jump in and not feel intimidated because those upperclassmen are so eager to welcome you and have you partake very early on. Being a Jesuit school, we have a very strong campus ministry, as well as several small faith communities, even our own Hillel. It's important to us that our students of all faiths feel comfortable and then supported on our campus. You'll also find fraternities and sororities, cultural organizations, political organizations, and a variety of other student groups that allow our students to fully live out their college experience. We have our own radio station, WJCU, where you can actually go ahead and broadcast your own radio show about a 50-mile radius around campus. We have an award-winning newspaper, the Carroll News, and even our own paranormal research group, affectionately called the Blue Streaks. So if you didn't know, we are the Blue Streaks. So there's a lot of wonderful various opportunities, but probably the number one thing our students are involved in is service, which is just a very natural component to our Jesuit education. From one-time opportunities to weekly experiences to much larger, truly immersive experiences through our immersion trip program. So as a student, you're going to find that service is just a very natural thing to get connected to. Service is not one bit of requirement on campus, but rather just something that becomes just a normal aspect to your time at John Carroll. So Mary Kate, can you give us a little bit more of your own experience?
Sure. I'm involved in a lot, so I kind of a little bit of everything that you touched upon. I'm involved in our sorority life here. I have really found some of my most amazing and closest friends through it, as well as women outside of my own sorority who are also some of my closest friends. Like Abby said, service is a huge component at John Carroll. So with my sorority specifically, we work nationally with the Girl Scouts. And then locally with John Carroll, we work with the local Cleveland troops. So it's really fun in March, Girl Scout cookie time, having a bunch of Girl Scouts come to campus and sell their Thin Mints and Samoas. And I definitely stock up, which I personally love. And then aside from that, very involved in service here on campus. I've gone to a domestic violence center. I've tutored math to 7th and 8th graders. I taught philosophy to juniors in high school. So there's a wide range of stuff that I've been able to get involved in. And I really like it because I get to see Cleveland in a new way. And then I'm always with about maybe 4 or 5 other John Carroll students. So like I'm never going alone. I get to meet new people on a quick ride to service, maybe like 20 minutes away from campus. So that was something very easy to get involved with. And a lot of people do service. It's not an unheard question to say, hey, where are you going for service this semester? Which I think is really cool and really unique.
Awesome, thank you. If competition is your thing, you can do that at JCU in many different ways as well. JCU is a NCAA Division III school with 23 varsity sports for men and women. In 2019, so the last full season for all athletics, our athletics program finished in the top 15% of all Division III athletics, with our men and women teams capturing 10 different OAC championships, which is our conference. So with those varsity sports, I think the huge component is having that tradition of being able to cheer on a football team or a basketball team or lacrosse or soccer, or whatever sport that may be. But you're not just cheering on someone that you know of or heard of on campus, but rather that person that you might sit next to in class or live down the hall from in the residence hall. That is a really awesome aspect to it. Being an athlete at JCU, you are a student athlete, a student first, and our coaching staff knows that and knows that the main goal is for you to graduate with that degree. So they're a huge support system to be able to make sure that you're able to balance both your classroom experience, but also continue to be competitive on the field or court. If you do like to compete, but maybe with a little less commitment, we invite you to get involved in club sports and intramurals, from soccer leagues, men and women volleyball teams, to crew. So many different things, unique things that you might find yourself staying active on campus with. Part of what makes the JCU experience so special is the fact that our campus just sits minutes away from a thriving metropolitan city. Because of our convenient location, students have the advantage and flexibility to fit in internships at any time in the year and are not limited to only interning in the summer months, including opportunities at Big Four accounting firms like E&Y, PwC, professional sports teams, and many Fortune 500 companies. Students are also able to take on research opportunities with local hospitals, like the Cleveland Clinic and the University Hospital System. These are two very nationally well-known hospitals, very strong and known around the world actually for their opportunities in the health field. So currently our students have this opportunity to do research with biomedical research, autism research, and shadowing many of our wonderful doctors within these systems. So these campuses are just minutes away from John Carroll. Our students in pre-health professions or even outside of that major have opportunities to partake working at these two wonderful organizations. In addition to these amazing opportunities, Cleveland is also home to some incredible culture, which our students are able to regularly experience. You can take a show at Playhouse Square, which is actually the second largest theater district outside of New York City. Also home to the world's, I don't know if it's a world or if it's the country's or even just the state of Ohio's largest outdoor chandelier, which is photographed right here. It's something really cool to see in person, one of my little favorite spots in Cleveland. But you can also do things like going to visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or seeing beautiful artwork at the Museum of Modern Art, which is actually free to visit on a regular basis. If you're a sports fan, Cleveland is truly a sports town, and you can catch a game at the Brown Stadium, the Cavs, or going to see an Indians game. Or you can experience our beautiful lakefront or the Cleveland Metro Parks. So there's quite a few different things to explore within Cleveland, many different small communities to maybe experience every other weekend. Mary Kate, do you have a point in Cleveland that you like the most?
Oh my gosh, a favorite? That's a little bit hard. Even like this past weekend, like, you know, it's a little bit hard to do many activities given COVID and trying to be socially distanced safe. But I went for a hike this weekend in the Metro Parks, and it was beautiful. It was it's called Squire's Castle, and it's this big, beautiful castle, and it was pretty incredible just to be outside and enjoying it. So that might be my new favorite. The Rock Hall was pretty cool. We had a homecoming dance 2 years ago or a year ago there. So I think I paid $20 for admission, and instead of paying a much higher price, and got to tour the Rock Hall wearing a fancy dress and high heels, and that was a pretty unique experience.
That's awesome. So Cleveland has quite a few hidden gems, and as a student, you can really explore all parts of it. Another huge component of Cleveland, so I do have to mention this, is the opportunities available to you with our alumni network. So our alumni are spread throughout our country with over 25 alumni chapters, but they've definitely saturated Northeast Ohio. We have over, I think currently right now it's like 500 different companies, organizations, and nonprofits are led by John Carroll alumni in Northeast Ohio. So as Mary Kate mentioned, those internship opportunities, one she had, in Chicago, which is awesome, but they're also going to be plenty and many to choose from just here in Cleveland, because they are so excited to be able to pass along or continue on supporting the John Carroll opportunities that they had as a student. So that is just a really awesome aspect to our community. So what do students love about JCU? Lucky today we have Mary Kate joining me, so she's been able to share her personal experiences here. But these are just some of the other things that other students have shared, a very small sampling. From Carroll Crazies. So those are our fans that are out there going to the football games and basketball games, the soccer games, the leadership and service opportunities, the opportunity to connect with the alumni. As I mentioned, like I said, they are very much a thriving group of individuals. The opportunities through professional development, which has definitely been incorporated into your academic experiences, but also through your own organization's leadership opportunities. The Thanksgiving feast. This is a really cute thing about John Carroll, which I think really represents our community very well. Every Thanksgiving, our students come together for a giant feast in our dining hall, served by John Carroll faculty, staff, and leadership, including our president and his wife. carving the turkey and passing it along to our students. So it's probably the most crowded we probably ever see our dining hall, with about maybe 2,000 students in there at one time. So obviously right now that's something we would never imagine doing, but it's still a very special part of who we are as a community. Enjoying the quad on a beautiful day. We actually have 2 different quads on our campus. Both are so beautiful and relaxing, and we have these phenomenal andoronic chairs that spread across our campus, so you can always have a seat to relax and maybe study or do some work or just enjoy some time with a friend. Mary Kate, is there anything that you think is missing on this list that you can think of?
I think those cover a lot of really great ones. Thanksgiving feast is my favorite.
What's your favorite dish there?
I like turkey and gravy, the classic.
There you go. Thank you. Awesome. So there's always something more to find out about John Carroll. So we invite you to visit and maybe find out what you love most. So these are just a few of our favorite outcomes that we always want to highlight. We are considered a regional university in the Midwest, and there are quite a few universities in the Midwest. So we're very proud to be part of a very large number of universities and colleges, all of which that have these amazing reputations. And we're number 2 among those different institutions, and number 1 in Ohio. And this has been a ranking that we are within the top 10 for now 32 years, 32 consecutive years. So it really represents that our university has a very amazing reputation that continues from year to year, not just a flash in the pan. And then, of course, a very important outcome, 75% of our students find employment or get accepted to graduate school at the time of graduation. So as Mary Kate is a great example of that. And even 6 months after graduation, that number shoots up very much higher as well. And another stat doesn't really get included here is a good number of our students continue on with a service opportunity after graduation, either through the Jesuit Volunteer Corps or AmeriCorps, for examples. So jumping into a little bit more about the aid and application process, I always want to highlight that there is financial aid available. We understand that a private education can sometimes feel as though it's out of your range, but it's very important to know that there are various different factors that will come together to make an opportunity at JCU affordable, accessible, and much more manageable than maybe you would first think. From our merit scholarships that will range from about $14,000 to $27,000 based on your academic performance at your high school. That can be your GPA, the courses you chose to select, in addition to SAT and ACT scores. We are test optional this year, so it depends on if you include those scores or not, and we are completely flexible. So if you have any questions about if you should include test scores, just speak with me as your enrollment manager, and we'll make sure that you make the best decision possible for yourself. But then there's also opportunities for grants, which are many different endowed scholarships, donor-based grants, alumni grants, a lot of different things to make those little bit of 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 grants stack up and make a significant difference. In addition to federal loans as you file the FAFSA, and then opportunities to work on campus to bring that cost down a little bit more out of your pocket. Here in Illinois, we have a couple different donor-based endowed scholarships that are also available to you. This is why it's really important to stay in touch with me and make sure that you are aware of every opportunity that you can apply for as an incoming student. So this is just to highlight where those merit scholarships are. Like I said, once again, this is based on your academic performance at your high school, but then this will be an annual scholarship that you'll see year after year. So when you apply to John Carroll, this is through the Common Application. So you can find our application right there on the Common App, and there is no fee to apply. So absolutely no commitment for you to do so. When you apply to John Carroll, we're looking to, as a holistic review, your academic performance, your co-curriculars, your resume of other activities. So if you're able to have a job after school, or if you're part of a team, how are you able to balance those experiences with your classroom experience? We would love to see a letter of recommendation from either a counselor or a teacher. And then the essay is very important, as this allows us to see who you are more than what's shared on a transcript. So take advantage of completing that application fully and putting your best self front. So these are just some things to highlight as your path to JCU. We are open for visits, which I think is very important to note. I know a lot of schools just haven't had that opportunity, and we have found a way to manage that, I think, in a very safe way, with very small groups of students and parents joining us daily for daily visits. So if you're thinking of making it to campus sometime in the next few months, we highly recommend getting that on the books. We are open through late November at this point. And we do have a really cool initiative this year. So if a student visits John Carroll prior to May 1st and also completes their early action deadline of December 1st by applying to John Carroll at that time and choose to enroll at John Carroll, you'll receive a brand new laptop for your time at John Carroll. Obviously something you can keep after those 4 years as well. We know many people are spending a lot of time on their laptop. So that laptop might be getting burnt out by now, so we want to give you the opportunity to have a fresh laptop for your time at John Carroll. Other things to be doing right now is, of course, filing your FAFSA, and then also opportunities to apply for our mission-based scholarship programs, which are Honors Program, Leadership Scholars Program, the Arupe Scholars Program, which is a focus on social justice and social action, and then our newest program, Social Innovation Fellows, which is a focus on entrepreneurship. Mary Kate, are you able to touch a little bit about the mission-based programs in your experience?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Arupe Scholars Program that's focusing on social justice and like being in action. And that's kind of also a pair of why I've done and participated in so much service. I think that's a big component of being part of the program as well. And then throughout my 4 years here, and I continue this semester and next semester, I take classes focused on social justice. Some of them are very specific. I've taken one about like hunger and then poverty and like homelessness. So there's lots of variation between that. But I personally really like it. And it's really nice because you're with the same cohort of maybe 40 students throughout your 4 years. So you get to know each other really, really well. And then this year, our senior year, we're actually doing a project. We're creating a children's book about women's representation in underrepresented careers. So I'm really excited about that. That's our senior project. I'm working with 3 other women in that. So I'm excited. We'll have the book done the next semester.
Great, that's awesome. So those 4 programs have a separate application that is also due on December 1st. So December 1 is the biggest date for you as a potential student at John Carroll. So apply to John Carroll by December 1st and also take advantage of the opportunities to apply to the mission-based programs by December 1st. We have many other scholarship opportunities that will have some different dates. One highlighted here is Ignatian Heritage Scholarship. You can find more details about that specific program right on our scholarship page. And then, of course, looking forward to opportunities to connect with you as possible through visit opportunities, including spring opportunities as well for those students who have been admitted to JCU. And then, of course, our goal is to see you join our campus by May 1st. So that is just a little bit of your pathway. And truly, we just want you to be part of the JCU community. John Carroll is a very special place. The key word there is community. That is something that I think sets John Carroll apart from many other universities and colleges. So we hope you're able to take advantage of learning more about John Carroll and perhaps seeing yourself and time spent at John Carroll for your 4 years of your college experience and then the many years following it as well. So thanks, everyone. That is kind of the end of our official presentation. I don't know if we had any questions pop up, but I'll go ahead and close our screen just to make sure. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We hope you have a great night tonight.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was great. Want to just highlight a few things before we sign off. First of all, when you log off of this screen, there will be a short survey evaluation that pops up. It's 4 questions. It's very short. Please do us a favor and complete that. It's how we know if we're doing what we need to be doing or how we can improve what we're doing in these programs. The other thing is, as I mentioned before, you can find all of the sessions, any future sessions you might want to sign up for, and recordings of sessions that have already been presented, including this one, at the IACAC website. That's iacac.org. So thanks very much to John Carroll for presenting, and everyone enjoy the rest of your evening.